Tonight on the MTN News at 10 on KRTV.
You tell me what's happening in Washington.
I'm not in Washington, I'm in Great Falls.
Exactly, sir. And we have
I
contracts that are
believe
not
that
worth
there's a lot of
anything
money
right
that's
now.
been left on the table, grant-wise.
In Cascade County, funding cuts may shake up family services in the area. We take a look at potential changes. Plus, meeting the second of 6 candidates hoping to be the next conductor for the Great Falls Symphony. And later,
That's exactly what we've hoped and prayed for a long time.
decades later, passing the torch to the new generation. How the history makes the experience.
From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN 10 o'clock news.
Good evening and thanks for trusting KRTV for your 10 o'clock news. I'm Tim McGonigal. First at 10, the Cascade County Board of Health met today taking a closer look at how funding cuts could impact local family services. MTN's Quentin Shores was at today's meeting and shares what changes could be on the horizon.
I am not seeing a report. I am seeing a tirade.
This is a report to
Would you please
our
wrap
Board
it
of
up?
Health.
Tensions ran high at a recent Board of Health meeting in Great Falls as residents voiced their concerns with how the already limited funding is allocated between different departments.
What you're doing now, I see no sense in that, because where it hurts is the people who you are supposed to be serving, because there isn't the funding there to serve them.
Former budget officers, county commissioners, and residents voiced their thoughts on the shift of projects such as the mills near Black Eagle from health department to road materials, how decisions like this have been affecting the rural community, and how grant money is being used as a result.
In general, funding has been substantially reduced, both from the state and the federal. And that causes constrictions in what we're doing. And that hurts. That's not pleasant. I don't believe there's any systemic issues that can just be magically fixed. But I guess I'll leave it at that.
The meeting discussed topics ranging from prevention services to environmental health, but it was the concerns that Jo Vivian Jones brought up for family health services that sparked a larger debate, arguing that delays in budget approval and hiring have affected her job significantly.
This has shattered CCHD's administrative and operational efficiency, eroded staff morale, and left us scrambling to understand new processes.
Additionally, the county health officer position has been vacant for several weeks, leaving many questioning the current leadership lineup. However, the board argues that it is doing the best it can with the current funding it's being provided.
You tell me what's happening in Washington.
I'm not in Washington, I'm in Great Falls.
Exactly, sir. And we have
I
contracts that are not
believe
worth
that there's a lot of
anything
money
right
that's
now.
been left on the table, grant-wise, that didn't have to be. Am I wrong?
Yes, sir, you are.
I don't believe so.
In Great Falls, Quentin Shores, MTN News.
Another cool day today as high temperatures were only in the 40s in most spots. We topped that at 49 degrees in Great Falls. 43 was the high in Cutbank. In Havre and Glasgow topped that at 48 degrees. Some warmer air did work its way into Fergus County, though. Lewistown topped that at 55 degrees today, the warmest spot in north central Montana. Right now we are in the upper 30s and low to mid 40s in most spots. It was a bit breezy today in some areas, but overall the wind wasn't too bad. But the wind is beginning to increase right now, and it will continue to increase as we go through the rest of tonight, with widespread gusty to strong winds expected tomorrow and Friday. There are also going to be some scattered rain and mountain sun showers around for the rest of tonight, as well as on Friday as a couple disturbances work their way through Montana. Now more details about the wind and precipitation in my full forecast in a few minutes.
Governor Greg Gianforte is putting his money where his mouth is, donating a quarter of his salary to help feed Montanans in need. Just last week, the governor said that while SNAP benefits were vital, Montana can't fund a federal program without federal reimbursement. The money is going to the Producer Partnership, a Livingston-based nonprofit turning locally raised livestock into meals for families struggling during the federal SNAP funding freeze. His office blames Washington gridlock, saying Democrats failed to pass a bill to keep the program running. The second of 6 candidates to lead the Great Falls Symphony is getting set to take the stage. And while the South American native may sound a bit different, I found out that she knows that music is a universal language.
I believe in music as something for all ages, all human beings.
A commitment to community and music education is one of the things that drew Fernanda Lastra to apply for the conductor position in the Great Falls Symphony.
I believe in the transformative power of music to unite, to heal, to create people like more aware of the other, because we need to pay attention, to listen carefully to music, to others.
Lastra grew up in Mar del Plata, Argentina, about 4 hours south of Buenos Aires. For the past 3 years, she's been the assistant conductor for the Buffalo Philharmonic Orchestra. As for musical influences, she points to Joanne Folletta, a pioneering female conductor. But she says inspiration doesn't always come from musical sources.
I am thinking inspiration comes when I see someone so passionate that even though this person is struggling, keeps going. So not giving up. Keep going, keep believing in yourself.
And her passion for education isn't just limited to kids.
We have to teach. We are conductors, but also we are educators, conductors, and we are sharing. Someone passionate talks to me about economy. I don't know nothing about the topic, but I am sure I will be convinced and emotionally connected if someone explains to me that in a way that I can understand. It's the same thing with music.
On Saturday, she'll lead the Great Falls Symphony in a program called Roots of Expression, which will showcase Christina Sherlock, principal violist for the Great Falls Symphony, and conclude with Tchaikovsky's Fifth Symphony, which Lastra calls iconic.
It's one of the most performed pieces in the repertoire, and is romantic, is passionate, is full of emotions. Tchaikovsky is a poet. He wants to write an emotion, and instead of writing a word, he writes a symphony.
The Great Falls Symphony performance of Roots of Expression under the direction of Fernanda Lastra takes place Saturday, November 8th at 7:30 p.m. in the newly renovated Mansfield Theater. Now, Lastra will be giving a pre-concert talk at 6:30 in the theater. We have a link to ticket information on our website, and you can watch the entire interview with Lastra at KRTV.com. Along Montana's Rocky Mountain front, ranches are changing hands more than ever, and with that, often their identity disappears. But at one ranch near Choteau, a family who spent nearly 50 years building a legacy has found the right people to carry it forward. MTN's Madison Collier takes us there.
Okay, let's see, where do we start?
Just outside Choteau, where the mountains rise straight out of the prairie, Deep Canyon Guest Ranch is nestled in Teton Canyon. For many, it's a retreat. For the Blixards, it's been a lifetime.
Sharon and I've been in the Teton Canyon doing a outfitter and a dude ranch operation, 2 different operations, for 66 years. Once you get this country in your blood and your heart, you kind of say, well, we can go another year.
Chuck and Sharon bought the ranch back in 1975, when it was a little more than rough grazing land and a lodge that doubled as a bar. Over time, piece by piece, they rebuilt it. New cabins, new fences, new trails, all built with their own hands.
So then we started getting the direction on what we wanted to do, wanted the place to become. We'd tear down an old cabin and build a new one in its place. Mm-hmm. It was a fun time, fun venture.
It became a guest ranch, not just for recreation, but for connection. A place where visitors shared stories around the table, crossed rivers on horseback, and learned the names of wildflowers along the way.
We will always be a part of their life here and this place, and I'm not sure we're ever going to feel really separated from it.
But as the years passed, the Blixards knew they needed someone younger to take the reins. They were determined to find the right fit. Not someone who'd subdivide and change what makes this place special, but someone who understood its soul.
And we wanted to be selective, and these folks came, and they were wanting to look at the place, and we saw excitement in their eyes, and we thought, I think that you're the ones we might have been looking for some time.
That someone turned out to be the Abbott family. They came from Vermont to visit, expecting to look, not buy, but something happened here. The same thing that happened to the Blixards decades before.
Certainly we want to keep the legacy that Chuck and Sharon have built. I think that's our number one priority. We know how much the guests care about them and how much the guests love this place, and we want to build that same legacy.
For Chuck and Sharon, watching the ranch move to a new generation, one that shares their passion, is what makes the transition feel right. They'll still be around, helping when they can, but also enjoying the quieter days they've earned. In a state where so many ranches are changing, this one remains what it has always been. A home, a haven, and now a legacy carried into tomorrow.
That's exactly what we've hoped and prayed for a long time.
The Abbotts plan to reopen Deep Canyon Guest Ranch this coming spring. With the Blixards staying close by to help during the transition, the new owners say their goal is simple: keep the ranch's identity alive for future generations. In Shoto, Madison Collier, MTN News.
People need to be more aware of what's available to them versus just commercially processed turkeys at the store.
Ahead, a small but fast-growing poultry operation is finding a loyal market for pasture-raised chickens and turkeys.
Day one.
From Montana's news leader, you're watching the MTN 10 o'clock news.
Welcome back. As Thanksgiving approaches, most of the turkeys on dinner tables come from big operations out of state. But here in Montana, one small farm near Big Sandy is carving out its own niche, raising pasture-raised turkeys the old-fashioned way. MTN's Anissa Coomer shows us how curiosity and hard work are helping this local business grow.
Turkeys are really some of the most curious birds. Not the smartest, but definitely the most curious.
On the open prairie just outside Big Sandy, curiosity and a lot of hard work have helped build one of Montana's few pasture-raised turkey operations. Carissa Berggren and Joe Ostrom run Flocking Good Farms, a small but fast-growing poultry operation that's finding a loyal market for pasture-raised chickens and turkeys.
I think people need to be more aware of what's available to them versus just commercially processed turkeys at the store.
In an industry dominated by large-scale national producers, farms like this one are rare in Montana. A handful of Hutterite colonies raise most of the turkeys found locally. Most of the country's birds come from just 6 states located in the Midwest and the South. But here in Montana, small producers like Flocking Good Farms are filling a local demand for pasture-raised, locally processed birds.
They get to forage, they get better nutrients, and they're out in the open air, which is a lot healthier for them, which makes it healthier for us.
What began as a small backyard project has grown faster than either of them imagined.
It was not on the bingo card.
Joe says the business started with just 50 chickens and quickly took flight.
We were going to raise enough chickens for ourselves to eat. 50 birds turned into 400. And then we started marketing them, and there's a demand, so we kept moving forward with it.
Now in their second year, they've processed dozens of turkeys, and they're already planning to expand. The couple has also started shipping statewide, getting fresh poultry to customers across Montana.
As long as demand is there to expand the turkey operation and supply more of the, whole birds and small cut.
A small Montana farm helping redefine what it means to eat local, one curious turkey at a time. In Big Sandy, Anissa Coomer, MTN News.
The U.S. economy added 42,000 private sector jobs last month. That's more than analysts expected. The data comes from payroll company ADP. The ongoing government shutdown prevented the release of an official jobs report. The most recent report from August showed unemployment at 4.3%.